Hey guys, this is Jeff with Bat Flip Baseball Channel. We open up lots of sports card packs, and today we're going to be hopefully answering the question, are 1990s basketball cards even worth anything? So we're going to be opening up a bunch of packs of early 90s basketball cards, and we're going to see if we find any gems in there. So let's take a look and see what we find.
Yes, indeed.
Soto carries his bat.
Fire that bat, Yachty. That's about as good as you're going to get.
This was my card that I said I would find some information about. But this is Jeff Juden. He's a top prospect in 91. Played for the Astros, obviously. I think he won one championship with the Yankees, I believe. But he's an accomplished musician. He wrote and recorded and produced an album and in hopes to create his own foundation someday. So I'm not sure if that foundation ever started, but he was really involved in a lot of not-for-profit organizations. So that was pretty cool. Just a little nugget about Jeff Juden there. All right, so we're here. I'm going to do a little bit of research. So what I try to do here, I scroll down to sold items, and then I like to sort by price plus shipping highest first. And look at that. 1990-91 NBA Hoops Series 2 sealed wax box for $1,000. It says 8 sold. I think this guy probably put them for a really high amount, had some people that he paid to buy these, and then sold them to make it look like they were worth a bunch. There's no way that anyone would be paying $1,000 for one of these. That's got to be a scam. Because if you look here, this is only Series 1. This is 20 sealed boxes for less than $300. And then here's 8 sealed boxes for $50 plus $35 shipping. So these are the ones we have. We have a lot of these packs. We have one of these packs, the 89-90 NBA Hoops. I may not open it because it has a David Robinson on the back of it. Anyway, so here's a majority of what I have. I also have Skybox. And here is another crazy, oh man, look at that. I think this is the same seller. You can probably get these for $10 for a box. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not going to judge, but that's pretty lame. As you can see, like these boxes, 180 unopened packs for less than $40 plus $20 shipping. I also have a 1991 pack of Upper Deck. It was a good year, but it's still not worth a whole lot. You can probably get, like $2 for a pack there. Let's see what the highest is. 7 boxes for $130. So you're looking at, $20 a box at the most. I think I've seen these boxes for $5 or $10 even, sealed. This was the year that Larry Johnson got drafted #1, I believe. Dikembe Mutombo, and at the time they were really good cards, but I think as of right now they're at the most you'd get 75 cents for some of these stars, maybe a couple dollars for some of the better ones, but there's not a whole lot to look for here. Oh yeah, we have these holograms, which are pretty cool. We can get those in these packs. And then we have a couple of possibilities of like a Jerry West autograph, just like we had in my previous video. There was a possibility of getting a Nolan Ryan autograph, but they are very few and far between. Let's see, 1990 NBA Hoops. Cool thing about one of the cards in this is it's the Mark Jackson, and it's got the Menendez twins, possibly, allegedly, right here. So this is crazy because they were convicted of their parents' murder in about this time, and a lot of people had said that it makes sense for them to be in New York at this time, but there they are to the left, possibly, and it looks just like them, the Menendez twins. Now they're in prison for life for killing their parents. And so anyway, so just a few years ago, this card just started getting really popular. Mark Jackson was a great player, but he wasn't worthy of a $27 card in a very card-rich era. Let's look for 1990 Skybox. We have these prototype cards, which were, I believe, just sent to dealers just to show what the design's going to look like. Got a David Robinson PSA 10, 38.50 we sold for, which is nice. Danny Ferry, wow. So without further ado, let's check out this whole load of packs that I have, and we'll just open a bunch and we'll talk about kind of what we find. We are looking for, I believe these are Series 2. So I think the draft picks are in here, which Gary Payton's probably the best draft pick that we'll find. Mookie Blaylock, boom. That was Pearl Jam's band name before they were called Pearl Jam. Little fun fact. Gary Grant. We're also looking for, there's Reggie Miller, beautiful. He's a good actor in Uncle Drew, good movie. Karl Malone, Jared Reed. I love Jared Reed. He was awesome. Phil Jackson, cool. Scottie Pippen, Mitch Richmond, Chris Mullin. Check that out. 2 Golden State Warrior legends right there. Muggsy Bogues. Looks like we have a draft pick. Willie Burton. Let's keep going. There we go. Mr. John Paxson, Chicago Bull fan here. So, Sarunas Marciulionis, Kevin Johnson, Sam Mitchell, Nick Anderson. Nick Anderson, interesting story about him on a 30 for 30 ESPN documentary. This Magic Moment is one of my favorite 30 for 30 documentaries. Nick Anderson just has a interesting story in that whole thing. B.J. Armstrong, he was one of my favorite Chicago Bulls on the team. He's awesome. I got some autographs from him. Vlade Divac. Rookie card, Isaiah Thomas, Reggie Lewis. Read about Reggie Lewis. Very tragic story. He was a great player and died unexpectedly on the court. So anyway, it's pretty interesting stuff. Alrighty, Hakeem. That was before he changed his name to Hakeem with an H. Hersey Hawkins was amazing. Michael Thompson. That's Klay Thompson's dad. Klay Thompson is none other than the Golden State Warriors player. And his other son, named Trace Thompson, plays baseball. So I'm bringing it back to baseball, everybody. So today I really want to open these packs. This was my childhood. I remember going to the grocery store. Tim Hardaway rookie. There we go. It's not focusing very well. Sorry, guys. Remember going to the grocery store and they had these. There we go. Felton Spencer. Danny Ainge there to round it out. He also played some baseball. Danny Ainge for the Toronto Blue Jays. Bringing it back around to baseball again. But anyway, I used to go and buy packs of basketball cards there. I didn't know much about basketball cards, but I loved it. Really enjoyed it. And the question is, are these worth anything? And the short answer is not really. You might find a card that's like worth quite a bit of money. But those are obviously very rare, and especially, there you go, Gary Payton. That's the card we're looking for. That's a good card right there. We got 2 draft pick cards. That's pretty cool. You might want to save it for a long time and hope that it just gains value. And a lot of them have, and a lot of them do. And even my dad, was like, hey, hang on to those baseball cards because they're going to be worth money. when he saw Mickey Mantle cards. Kendall Gill, right there, beautiful card. And it's because a lot of people didn't realize that they were worth anything, that now they're worth something. After all that happened, people were like, if I save my cards for a while, they're going to be worth something later. And because everybody thought that, they're not worth anything. However, I would ask you, what does that mean? To me, these cards are awesome. I just want you to look at that artwork. I don't understand, I'm sure I know they had computers, obviously, but I don't understand how the artwork and the graphics, like how they were able to do that way back then. This is 30 years ago. To me, this is my childhood. I'm going to open up another pack of hoops here. Michael Jordan, there we go. That was a good thing to do. That's an iconic card. I love that card. James Worthy, they were teammates back in college. It's pretty awesome. Joe Wolf, another Ramil Robinson. I think the long answer for me, and I had to step away from collecting for a while to realize this, the real value is in what these things mean to you. When I think of these cards, I think about, when did I buy these cards? Where did I buy these cards? How old was I? Where was I living? Things like that. And a lot of those memories just kind of come back to me. And to me, that's kind of cool, But a lot of these, I'm just flipping through these, and I'm really not expecting to find anything exciting. And that's okay. There's Gary Payton. Speaking of something exciting, Gary Payton's cards have held up pretty good. They're a couple dollars, which in these sets it's pretty good. Because most of the cards, even the stars, are like 50 cents or something, unless you get like a Jordan. The real value for me is not in the book price. Like, this was 30 years ago. And look at those designs. Charles Barkley. Like, it's so cool and so rich. Like, the colors. Michael Jordan, I love that card. Del Curry, that's Steph Curry's dad. So it's kind of an unfair question, but I know a lot of you are interested because a lot of people have held on to these for so long, and they're like, oh man, well, if I just hang on for another 20 years, they're going to be worth a bunch of money. And that may or may not be the case. But I think cards were invented for people to enjoy the sport and for people to appreciate the players and just the art of the sport, And I love this set here. This is Steve Kerr. He's the coach of the Golden State Warriors. I went to a garage sale a few weeks ago. There was a guy that had a box of 1988 Topps baseball cards. It was just like a complete set. And I asked him how much he wanted, because he had that plus a bunch of other boxes of cards, And I've bought huge lots of cards for, $100, $200, something like that. So I was expecting, hey, take the whole lot for $20-$25. He's like, oh, I can get $150 for just this one box alone. It's like, good luck with that, sir. Now, maybe he looked at the Beckett, maybe individually a lot of these cards might sell for, a certain amount. And so he assumed, like, oh, well, I'm going to be able to get that for everything. And it's like, you know what? They obviously don't mean anything to you. At least that was my take. This is our last pack, guys. And I am going to find the last card and tell you on my next video, and that's Orlando Woolridge. So I'm going to come up with some information about Orlando Woolridge on my next video, because that's the last pack that I'm going to open. Stay tuned for part 2 in our next video of this 1990s basketball break. Like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and we will see you next time. Thanks a lot.